Good afternoon, everybody. I want to talk to you about something called Remember the Beach Ball. And Remember the Beach Ball is a little emotional intelligence tool that we use in my two schools. I'm Andy Hodgkinson. I'm the head teacher of Potstrigley Church School and Bollington St John's Primary School. And it's just something and it helps us with our relationships at lots of different levels, with kids, between kids, with staff, with parents. So if you have disagreements in a school, this is perfect. Couple of questions, and I've got some prizes for anyone that can tell me the answer. Are these lines parallel? Yes, right. At the end I'll get you a prize. Can anyone see the hidden tiger? Anyone? Hurry up, I'm being timed here. I'm going to get a duck thrown at me. Look carefully at the stripes of the tiger. Can anyone see the hidden tiger? Yeah? The words, hidden tiger. If you look carefully at the stripes, they spell out the hidden tiger. Old or young? Old, well, or young, depending on how you look. If you look carefully in the face of the two people, you can see a guy on the right playing a guitar and a younger lady holding her head with a hat. So, yeah. Last one. What do you see in one word? Any offers? What words do you see? Child? Poverty? The idea is that you probably, if we were to ask everybody in the room now, we might have a range of different words. Remember the Beach Ball is all about the idea that events happen in classrooms, in schools, and people see things from different perspectives. I'm holding this beach ball now. You're looking at it, you can see the colours, orange, yellow and red. I can see blue, white and green. It's the same beach ball, but we see it from different perspectives. And we have lots of different things that shape the perspectives that we have in school. And so we have this little tool that we use when there's a disagreement to help us understand one another. I'm just going to show you a short video clip now.
Sumo principle number 4 is remember the beach ball, and lo and behold, I just happen to have one with me. And the point I make about this beach ball is, from where you're looking, the colours you see, I understand, would be green, red and yellow. But from my perspective, it's clearly orange, blue and white. And it's just this point in life that, you know, shut up thinking that your view of the world is the only view that there is, and move on to exploring the fact that there could be a whole host of other perspectives that we've not explored before. That's why I'm a great believer in diversity in the workplace. And remember the beach ball is just taking some time out to think, do you know what, how I see this world has been influenced by a whole shed load of things. You know, age, for instance. You know, when I was growing up, the phrase a Big Mac referred to a large raincoat or a tall Scotsman. Yeah? The phrase going all the way, to me that meant you stayed on the bus till you got to the terminus. But I mean, I understand it means something else now. And in the early 80s, I got absolutely excited when we got a 4th TV channel. You know, my kids now look at 96 and go, there's nothing on tonight. You know, age, I think your gender, your values, your previous experiences. There was a little lad called Richard. His mother Eve used to say to him, son, dare to be different, believe in yourself, be prepared to rock the boat, don't worry about making mistakes, and never forget that nobody's any better or worse than you. You know, his surname was Branson. I think that upbringing influenced his view of the world, his perspective. And yet, a guy heard me say that recently and came up to me and said, you know what, my dad always used to give me a motto, and I've never ever forgotten it. And I love motto. I'm like, all right, what was it? He said, wear navy and keep a low profile. I went, and? He said, and you won't go far wrong in life. And although we can maybe chuckle to ourselves with that, I think what a sad statement. His view of the world was to be brought up was play safe, stay small, don't stand out of the crowd. If that guy's in an organisation that's going through change, where they need to move out of comfort zones and take some risks, his view of the beach ball is going to be very different from someone else's. So there's two things within this. One, I need to appreciate your view is different perhaps to mine, and that we could both be right. Rather than trying to convince ourselves, look, it's yellow, red and green, I'm right, you're wrong. actually try and explore a bit more about where people are coming from and understand them. But perhaps we also need to let people know our side of the beach ball as well. And we can't assume that they automatically understand it. So in terms of relationships with customers, with colleagues, with your staff, Sumo principle number 4, remember that beach ball is an absolutely invaluable one.
So, we use that if children have disagreements in the playground, talking about understanding one another. I use it with staff, and they're all sitting up there at the moment. They don't know that I'm thinking. But, you know, it's important for us to understand that when things happen in schools, there is always two sides of a perspective, with parents as well. Just a few questions that we use to help us unpack some of the issues when we're talking about getting on and building a relationship. First of all, we ask ourselves, where is this issue on a scale of 1 to 10? Something happens for a child. You know, is it really a life and death? 10, there, the sumo guy is about to fall in the lion's mouth. Most things that happen in school aren't a 10, but sometimes are. How important will this be in 6 months' time when something happens? We ask ourselves that question. Is your response appropriate and effective? You know, when there's an issue in the, you know, some kids have fallen out or they're arguing, we ask ourselves, you know, there's often a response. We had a child in one of the schools last year, and he used to talk about this, and he says, what do you do when you fall out with your sister? And he said, I punch her. And you say, well, let's go back and ask this question and unpack that incident. How can I influence or improve the situation? The guy there, if you look, he's got a DIY bridge. He's got to do something himself. So we're encouraging children and staff and everybody to think about what is it that you've got inside of you to improve the situations, the goals, the targets that you want to set for yourself. Helps us to be reflective, to think about things, think about our learning, think about our relationships, think about when things happen. Things happen every day. Some of them aren't nice. Ofsted come in. They might tell you a few things that you might not, at the moment, like what they're saying. But if you ask that question, what can I do different? What can I do differently next time, maybe? From that, he'd pack a parachute. And always a good one, because when we're trying to build self-esteem, motivation, build relationships, what can you find that's positive in this situation? We use a whole range of things based on the beach ball and other things. If you want to find out more, email me at my Pot Strigley head's address, and I'll be more than willing to share things with you.